Hi guys, how is everyone doing today? I am just starting to do an entire studio makeover. Actually, since moving into this house, my studio has never been organized because everything that didn't have a place got shoved in there. Boxes that needed to be unpacked and weren't yet got shoved in there. So it is just a room of shoved stuff, packed stuff, stacked stuff. And every time I try to create, you know how difficult it is to create when you can't find what you want. It's very frustrating to spend more time looking for things than to actually create something. So I've gotten the rest of the house unpacked and organized, except the garage, and I'll get to that next. But the studio has to be redone because it's just causing me internal chaos. So I just started today, and I thought, you know what? I have never done a before and after. And even before we moved here, our other house, I had a really large studio and I did a complete makeover, and it was turquoise and white, and I loved it, and had a whole wall of pegboard, and I never did a before and after. Probably mostly because honestly, the before is really embarrassing to me. What I'm gonna show you here around this corner is really embarrassing to me. I would not want someone to see. However, I'm going to show you because I've been watching some makeovers or before and after on YouTube, and I like seeing the before and what they were able to do with it, how they organize things, and I love the transformation. It's a great feeling and it makes me really happy for them. So I am going to put myself out there. I'm going to be vulnerable today and show you the before, no matter how embarrassing it is. So I'm starting here in the hall by Dance by the Light of the Moon. I made that for my husband. I want to redo it. It's a little, I don't know. I want to redo it, but it's here in the hallway. Oh, and I'll show you this. Hubby and I went to one of those painting classes, and we each painted a half and put them together to make a picture. That was so much fun. Anyway, okay, so this is the hallway leading into the studio, and there's a shelf here that has a lot of children's books on it that I've been collecting, getting from people or from Goodwill and from wherever. And I just keep stacking them here. Well, then I took all of them and I took them downstairs, put them in the bookcase downstairs, and now I filled it up again. So, okay. So this is full of paper that I just took out of a cube, and I'll show you that. All of this is organizational stuff, and I don't want to get rid of any organizational things until I'm completely organized and know what I need, and then I can get rid of everything that's left over, except for that bag is full of books. I have recently acquired a ton, and when I say a ton, I mean hundreds of old books, and they've got to get organized. Okay, so this is the door. I couldn't close the door to the studio if I wanted to, like to record a video at night and, you know, not have it wake anybody or hear what's going on or whatever. I couldn't close it. This is full of bags. It's just a bag full of bags. And these are belts that I have acquired because I thought they had either a cool buckle I wanted to use in some mixed media art, or maybe the belt itself would work to wrap around a junk journal. So this bag is of large bags, and these two bags are bags of little bags and more organizational things here. Okay, so here we are, right inside the door, besides my toes and my pajama pants, is a shredder, which has yet to be plugged in so I can use it. I have a box of things to shred. And this bag is fabric. That bag's of fabric, and that bin down there has paper and doilies and things like that. Okay, so there's my trash and recycle cans, and on it is a bin, and paper and things that I've started to sort. When I'm working, when I sit there on my stool at the desk, I like to set whatever I need to get things from, say it's this, on top of the trash and recycle, because it's very steady. But I don't like that system. All right, so we just walked in the door right here. Let me back up so you can see my embarrassing studio. Okay, so when we moved in this house, the room is actually nice and big, but it's laid out not in a way that's not conducive to what we do with crafting and art. And I'm trying to remain steady while I was getting around something, so I hope I'm not making you sick. All right, so the people before us built in this huge desk that goes all the way around, and to that corner is bookcases. Okay, that's wonderful if you're going to use it as an office, but these shelves, none of these shelves, including these over here, none of them are tall enough to hold 12-inch paper or these kind of bins. None of them will hold any of that. So they really don't hold the things that we use. So there's shelves all the way up. There's some of the books that I've acquired. These little plastic shoe boxes right here are my feathers. I have chickies in the backyard, and I collect their feathers every day, the ones that they drop, and I bring them in. I hand collect them, I bring them in, and I hand wash them and dry them, and I put them in there, and I can use them in my art. I think that people have asked me about them, so I think that I'm going to start putting some on Etsy. Not sure exactly how to price them, but it is cool to have the real feathers instead of the fake ones that we buy, and the fake ones are so expensive. I just need to account for, you know, collecting and cleaning and all of that stuff, but I'll get some of those on Etsy. If you are interested, let me know. And if you have like ideas of how you'd like to see them packaged, please let me know about that. Anyway, okay, so family printer. My scale for weighing packages is underneath there. Let's do the top of the desk first. Hope there's nothing here that shouldn't be seen. Okay, my laptop, my Mac, all, you know, tools back there. I've been sorting paper this morning, so I will say that these stacks of paper are not usually here. It's because I've been sorting. But back there I've got inks. Yeah, more inks. In the corner there is a nice Tim Holtz carousel to hold stuff. Here's all Copics, some Spectrum Noir. I've got all kinds of bins. In fact, I've collected all these little wooden ones, and I've got a bunch of handles that I want to put on the ones that don't have handles. I love those, and so I can sort cards and ephemera and things to put in there, and I'd like to have them up on the shelves. In fact, I had all of those up on this shelf here, and I thought, well, I'm going to try bringing them down, putting the pens up there so that these are right at the desk. Well, I just, it hasn't worked yet. Nothing has worked. Okay, so there's the end of the desk. So going up, then there's, let's see if I can get to, without killing anything or myself, these mostly notebooks, some that I've written in, some that I haven't written in yet, some that I use for art, and up there just lots of books. I mean, there's encyclopedias, there's a couple of giant dictionaries. I'm pressing some flowers in those, you can see. Books about everything so that I could tear out pages. Those are awards from a business that I used to have before we moved here. This papers that I wrap some of my orders in. Those are paper bags, little lunch bags. These are really cute. Oh my goodness. You can see why I'm very frustrated with this. Okay. Those are paper bags. There's red plaid and there's a blue plaid. And what fun to be able to make some junk journal things out of those paper bags. You know, just, you can see the stuff just packed in. All of this is stuff for junk journal right here. Different kinds of paper. There's music paper, book paper, there's maps, and only a few. I've got a whole nother thing of maps. These have different types. Those are all like words and either stickers or to make to stickers. words and things to put on tags and junk journals. And you can see some of these bins here that I like started to make some tags for my collaging. Well, then I just needed a place to put things, so I just started shoving stuff in there to get it out of my way. More books. I've got a ton of gardening books to pull out things. Here's where I put my camera when I do YouTube videos, because it's right over top of the desk, and I would sit right here, and that would be my workspace. Light, which I love. Okay, and you can see all the way up there. Okay, so that's the desk and above. So I come into work, I have to clear work, have to clear a space there, put that somewhere else so that I can create, and then I'm hunting for whatever it is I want. Underneath the desk, let's see if I can get this here. I just kind of reorganized this. You've probably seen, these are like those little shelves you get from Target or Walmart, and they typically stand up the other way, and there's like 3 shelves, not the shoe ones, but they're a little bit deeper. I just turned it on its side, and with that, by turning it on its side, I got 3 cubbies there, and then the top shelf. Otherwise, there's a lot of wasted space under there, and as at this point, I couldn't afford to waste the space. So tools that I use often are there, mini cutters, and those two have like large cards, and yeah, and then I just started shoving things that needed a place right there. So yeah, not so great. And then there's a set of drawers there. They house all my ribbon, and what else is in there? The bottom one is full of ribbon. Oh, the middle one is full of ribbon as well. The top one has a few tools and things that I might grab, tape, some of the office supplies, things like that. And then there's the corner one. That middle drawer is just bulging with envelopes. The top one has some random tools to use, and I can't even tell you what's in the bottom one. And then I shoved this little shelf in here because there's just a little bit of space left, but I needed some room. So there's my scoring board on top of it, a drawer with, you know, some personal things, like if I wanted a mint or gum or something like that, and then some tools that I use frequently. Down there, that blue holder is full of adhesives, and I need to have that by me, obviously, but that's not a great place for it. Here's another one of those wooden, isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? A wooden box that I can store either cards that are ready to decorate or already decorated. Okay, I picked up these little white things at Tuesday morning, thinking maybe I could put them on the desk and they could hold ephemera. We'll see if they work into the redo. Oh my goodness, just bins of things. I started collecting as I was going through stuff and putting it all right here. Things that I could use in the junk journals, notepads, and you know, different things like that. Like that one. That one's really pretty. They can be used in all different sizes. There's some paper. There's some organizational things down there. There's some paper right there. And you can't even see behind this stack. Okay, all these plastic things that are full. This one is full of ribbon, and that one is full of lace and different things. And you can't even see behind it is two cubbies. And those 2 cubbies are full of paper and wallpaper. I've got tons of wallpaper. More organizational things. Okay, so here's a stack of paper, because I've been pulling paper out this morning, and I'll show you why, but nowhere to put it, so here's a stack of paper. And that was just, I think that was 3 cubbies worth right there. Okay, more full containers with all kinds of things. Okay, so here's a question for you. Got this cool little wooden thing. I'm going to set it, well, let me show you here. Okay, I'm going to show you how it looks, because it's really different. And so you turn it this way, means it's slightly angled that way because the back has that little foot on it. You can turn it upside down, same thing. No, you can't. I'm sorry, the bottom is flat. Okay, inside are all these little slots. They don't go all the way through. I'm thinking that it probably was in ancient times. Maybe they slid those little Why can't I think? You never think when you're on camera. You know what I'm talking about. With pictures on them, the film in the middle. Oh my goodness. Stick them in a round carousel. You show them up on a big screen on the wall. It'll come to me. Anyway, I'm thinking that maybe that's what, maybe they stuck those in there and that's what that was for. But I don't know. But I didn't want to get rid of it because I think it's just cool looking. But I need ideas. What can I do with it? If you have an idea of what I can do with this, please leave it in the comments. If I can receive a comment with an idea that I can actually use in my studio with this, I will send you a gift. I will send you a very cool gift. I might even let you choose the theme of your gift. Yeah, I'd be willing to send a gift to someone who can leave a comment and give me some ideas. Let me go in close so that you can see. See those slots? Slides, that's what it is. I'm thinking that in ancient times they put slides down in each of these because see how it doesn't go all the way through right there. It just goes to the center. So please, creative people, I know you're creative people, give me ideas of what I could use that for, and I would love to send a gift for that. Okay, behind that stack is more plastic bins that are all full of stuff. Like that one down there on the bottom is full of lace and fabric, and then this one is just there's a lot of music books in there, and there's some just book covers that I've gutted the book already. There's a little purse that shouldn't show you that because I want to use that as a book journal cover. I think that would be really cute. And then there's that little cart there that has my sewing machine on it. Obviously, I can't get to the sewing machine right now. On the side, I put some one of those hangers that holds some thread that I might use often, but this is not working. Okay, so let me back up so you can get a bigger picture now of what's going on here. Okay, behind this sewing machine is my window. A nice, great big west-facing, awesome window. That's the front of the house. Okay. Next to it is one of those cubby holes or cube shelves. I don't even know what you call them. But there's 2, 4, 6, 8. There's 8 cubes there full of paper. I have gone through my paper once and I gave away or sold 2 full cubes worth. I am going through it again. And don't even think that that's a lot of paper because that's just the beginning. But on top of that is more bins. These 3 all are full of like just embellishments. This little one on top with the blue lid, that's full of little bags like pharmacy bags and Chili's bags that they put their utensils in, things like that. And the box up on top, I believe, has some napkins in that I was using for collaging or napkin covered pages. And then when I finished, I needed space, so I just stuck it up there. So some of these little containers are labeled because I stick things in there by theme because I want to do a journal on that theme. And so as I gather something, I just add it to that journal. My mom comes to visit, and every time she does, she says, "Now, why is that Diet Coke can up there?" I will go in close and show you why. This was one of those promotions they had where the Diet Coke cans or the Coke cans had names on them. And this one had Sweetie, and it says share a Diet Coke with your sweetie. Well, my husband had the Diet Coke at work, and he brought the can home to me because I'm his sweetie. I call him honey, he calls me sweetie. And I love that. And so I've kept it. And I'm thinking that maybe I can find a way to cut off the top and the bottom, flatten out that portion of it, and use it in a journal or on a tag for him. That would be kind of awesome. Okay, there's some boxes up there, doilies, and some other things I'm collecting for projects. More bins that are full of things, just things. Okay, so here's 2 more of those cubes. One is white and one is black. I know it's really hard to see in there because it is black, but there's 4 cubbies in there and there's 4 cubbies in this one. And this is what I've just been emptying out this morning, because I'm going to take them out and paint them, or her hubby may paint them, put a coat of Kills on them, and then I want them both white. So as I redo this, they're all white. And after we do those, then I'll move paper and I'll do this one as well. All right, it's getting more and more embarrassing as we go. All right, next to that is another window. Look at that awesome window. Let me guess what size this room is. I'm going to say this room is probably about 12 wide this way, and this way, long way, with that desk being at one end, probably 22 to 25 feet. So it's a decent sized room. It's just overloaded. So about 12 by 22 to 25. Okay, so those 2 cubbies there, and then there's the window, another nice big window, front of the house, beautiful lighting. Okay, and this is my photograph station, and I keep setting things over there that need to be photographed to put in Etsy, and then, you know, it gets totally covered and I can't even take my photos there because it's totally covered. But they're all things that need to be photographed and put in Etsy. I love this cabinet, but it may not work in here anymore. Right now it does. The 2 drawers are completely full of adhesive. Yeah, I guess I had a little bit of an adhesive, what would you call it? I need to gather adhesive, and now I have way more than I need, and maybe not even the kind that I like to use all the time. And there's just some extra backup supplies in here. And then the far one that is not even shut, that one has really cool trims that I purchased that have dangles on them, and some of them have glass beads, are really expensive and really cool. And I want to get those up on Etsy because I have a ton of it, plenty to share. And some of the journals that I've seen you guys make, it would just be really cool on them, and I would love to see them. So I'm trying to get that up on Etsy. Underneath it, there's that bin right there. I put some really super old books that if they were even moved around on the shelf, the pages would probably break because they're so old. So those are inside there. Behind it is a couple of more books, and then that's actually, that black and white stripe thing is actually a container to put all those shelves of Spectrum Noir or Copic, pens in there, and be able to transport it. But right now they're on my desk, so this has something. I think that one might be full of embellishments, not positive. Next to it is a huge box full of great cardboard, cardstock, file folders, things like that I have saved as they've come along. Okay, down this little aisle here, this is a rolling cart. That rolling cart is full of glitter and embossing powders. Plastic bin on top of it, full of stuff. Okay, we're going to take a little walk down here. There's some threads and yarns and things that is full of napkins, or kind of sort of full of napkins. Oh, just stuff. In the back here, next to the photo station, is actually 3 nice big drawers that are full. And 2 shelves. Well, there's actually 4 shelves. This shelf right here is completely full of Graphic 45, and yeah, that's organized and protected. I always protect the Graphic 45s, and a bunch of magazines that I need to go through, a couple of cool book covers that I wanted to do a journal around, and both of those bins up there, the green and the blue one, are full of napkins. I have way cool napkins, and I need to get some of those on Etsy because I have a ton. Besides that, I have an entire black bin like this that is full of napkins. So I have plenty to share. Okay, so this right here is kind of an odd Okay, so I'm gonna trying to get where you can see. It's a stand. And actually, I think where this originally came from was a store, and this is where they put fruit and vegetables or something. So there's sections you can see, and you can move around the sections. And so they would set the different fruit and vegetable in the sections for shopping. And I found it at my parents' house, and they let me have it. And I thought, well, this would be a great place to organize as I get things listed on Etsy, get the photo taken here and get them listed. Then I put them in there, which is just waiting for the customer to purchase them. And then I can come over here and get them. They've been protected, and wrap them and weigh them and ship them, and, you know, be good to go. And I still think that that's a good idea. And that's what's in there is things that are listed on Etsy, except up there's all kinds of packing stuff, lots of bubble wrap. These bins here, bins are all full of like Tim Holtz medals and things. Oh my goodness. You know, I can't even tell you exactly what is in those. I'm going to back up here, going back down that little aisle that we came in on. Okay, so you can see these 3 black bins here. There was 4. One was full of washi tape. And no, I am not kidding. One was full of washi tape. I pulled it out and I have sorted it. I still have it, so it needs a place. On top is a couple of cloth bins that are full of embossing folders and dies. And inside of those, oh boy, there might be still embossing folders and dies and stamps, mostly embellishments. Yeah, mostly embellishments, I think. Okay, here's a cool stand that I thought, I'm going to back up so that you can see, but until I do that, let's see if you can see down there. So there's a drawer, and then down below it is 2 doors that open, and this flap comes up. Well, it's got to have room to come up, and there's one on the other side too. So I thought, what a perfect little piece of furniture here. And inside it is my Silhouette and my laminator and my Evolution and my Cuttlebug and all of those things. So as I need them, I take them out. I can set them up on top of that, use them right there, and then put them away, you know, because I don't do those things every day. But you can see, yeah, I haven't been able to use them at all. So these are full of dies and stamps and embossing folders, and then stuff started getting stacked on top of it. In front of it, let me see if I can get around here. I'm so sorry if I'm making you sick. I hope not. Okay, in front of that cool little piece of furniture are 3 of these, what are they, Raskog carts. I love these carts. This one is full of bins. Not bins, what do you call these? Little plastic containers. And they're all labeled. So yeah, organized, labeled, stuff in them that I can use for junk journals and, you know, and doing whatever. This one is full of washi tape. Yes, the entire cart. And that's not even that whole bin. And here's another washi right here. I might take that one sometimes and just set it on the desk if I'm using those. And here, this one's full of tiny washies. And then this just won't stay together, and I saw that somewhere, so I put it in here to protect it because I really like that trim. And then this one is full of paint and old fingernail polish to use as paint. Anything that's, you know, distress paint. There's some patina paint in there. There's mediums there. There's acrylic paints down there. There's sprays. All my Tattered Angels are in here. So that's what that cart is fully that. And these containers here are full too. Okay, I'm gonna back up. I'm backing up to the door. Remember, we came in here and walk around. Okay, so at the door, we came in the door, and on the right side was the printer and the desk starts. And on the left side, the bin on the bottom is full of fabric. And look at that. There is a Cricut Easy Press that hasn't even made it out of the box. And the Easy Press mat. There's a tripod sitting there. No room to use a tripod. Okay, so on the other side of these bins and things in the middle, there's an aisle over here. Well, there was an aisle till this morning, and I shoved things there to get them out of my way. These are full of dies and stamps and embossing folders. There you can see some fibers and some 6x6 pads of paper, and it's standing on that colored Christmas box there is standing on a soft green bin down there that is full of 6x6 paper pads. That bag right there is full of fabric. Not even sure what's in those. And there's a couple of organizational things that I don't want to get rid of because it just makes sense to me that those should work somewhere, but we'll see. Okay, next to the bins, there's 2 more sets of drawers there, one on top of each other, that are full of embellishments and stuff. And let's get back here. Okay, there's the other side of that fruit and vegetable holder that, yeah, there's just stuff stacked. I'm so embarrassed. Okay, down there, the bins with the blue lids, one of them holds gift bags and wrap, things like that. And the other one is all embellishments. And then each one of these little bins full of stuff. And up here, that one has some sample, these are old fabric samples from somebody who went out of business, you know, for upholstery or drapery. Okay, hanging there up on the wall is a bunch of vinyl and things to use with my silhouette. Hopefully we'll get that out and working. And see this cool wall right here? You can see like there's 2 little doorknobs up there. You can see a split down the middle. That's because there's a Murphy bed in there. And when you open these 2 doors, that one that way and that one that way, then the Murphy bed comes down. But no, that Murphy bed's not coming down. We don't need it a lot, but still be nice to access it. Okay, next to the Murphy bed are some built-in shelves. I don't even need to tell you what all that is. There's just full of stuff all the way down to the ground. And get around the corner and there's a closet there. Closet just full of stuff. That bin with the blue lid down there, right there to the left, that one's full of really cool Christmas gift toppers or gift bag toppers, things you could, you know, put on the top, glittery and butterflies and dragonflies and things like that. So yeah, those are usable. All right, I'm gonna back up because on the left here is another, whatever you call them, that has all the cubes for paper. And this one is a 4x4, which means there are 16 cubes over here full of paper. And remember, on the other side, there's 16 cubes full of paper. And these cubes are the ones, when I first started organizing, these are the ones I did all my color coded in. I put 8.5 by 11, 6 by 6, and 12 by 12. I just did them by color and had some fun one night and put the color in washi tape. So this cubby's all green, that cubby's all blue, that cubby's purple, you know, and so forth. And then a little while ago, I started thinking, all right, if that's not completely full, I need to start combining. And so I started, you know, shoving things together. Well, maybe, you know, with the brown, maybe I can get the yellow in next to it because maybe I don't have a lot of either of those 2. So I started doing that, trying to conserve some space. I mean, there's everything. There's black, white, silver, and there's even one for black and white because I love black and white. There's a gold. You can tell by the color, you know, of the washi tape running down the side. There's the white, there's gold, and then down on the end, I think the last 2 are not our paper that's still in boxes or has not been sorted or something like that. All right, on top of this, those plastic containers right there, zoom in a little bit, they hold all my wood mounted stamps. Now, until 2 nights ago, the entire top of this was covered with those with wood mounted stamps. I sat down one night, stayed up till 1 o'clock, and I sat down and went through every single one of them and I sorted them. And this is what I kept. I actually cut the amount in half. So the other half of wood mounted stamps, I just need to sell. And I don't know. I'd love to do it as a lot for somebody who's just getting started and doesn't have a stash, needs to build up a stash, because 95% of the stamps in there that I have to sell have never been used. They're brand new. But at this point, I just need to move them on to a new home. So somebody who's just getting started, I would give them a killer deal, like minor percentage of what they would pay in the store, just to help out a little bit with some organizational things that I need to get and help them out getting their stash started. So next to that, these are some of the bins that I emptied from the wood-mounted stamps that I went through. And so I have filled these up this morning. I have filled those up with paper that I emptied from these two, oops, sorry, hope I didn't make you dizzy there. Paper that I emptied from these two. Remember, there's a whole stack of paper right here. And there's a couple of plastic bins full of them. And then all of these here, those are all paper from these two shelves over here that we're going to take out and paint white. Okay, so we're back to the door. Do you love this wallpaper? Some people love it, some people don't. Oh, let me show you this. My little art. I made those. You know, it's even funnier. I made those in first grade. They were such fun, and I found them in a box at my mom's, and I thought, I'm gonna bring them, I'm gonna put them up, and maybe I'll try that art technique again sometime now as an adult. But yeah, so they put this wallpaper up. I would love to paint it a lighter color, and even white. I'd love to have my white and turquoise studio back, but at least it is nice wallpaper. It is in really good shape because they had just done the remodel. But it is everywhere. It is everywhere indeed. So there's a quick once over there. So back out. Oh, I almost forgot to show you. Let's see if I'm out all the way. I am. All right, back out to the hall. We just went out the door. We're back in that hall. Okay, I can't open that door because obviously why? But let me back up so that you can see. This is the hall closet. Yes, indeed, it is more of Marianne's art and craft things. Top to bottom, left to right. So if I was able to open that door, you would see more of this. And it was extremely organized, and all the containers were labeled, but they're still not organized in the best way with the rest of the things that are here in the studio. So yeah, there's a ton of stuff. So when I say there's a ton of stuff, I am not kidding. And this is pretty embarrassing that I'm even showing you this, but I love when other people do, and it makes them real. And you know, I respect them for being able to do that. I don't think less of them. So I'm hoping you don't think less of me when I look at this room and everything that's just gotten, you know, piled into it from the move. It's, why is it that our art room, craft room, studio, whatever you choose to call yours, is always the last thing to get attention, the last thing to get organized? But it is, and that's okay, because now we are at the point that it is ready to be organized. So that is the tour of my before. Get ready, because the after better be killer. Okay, I'm going to stop the video, but then I'm going to come back with the after.